Hi, this is Steve. Welcome back to Scale Model Kit Review. In this video, I continue to build the Eaglemoss Gone in 60 Seconds Eleanor. Now, I am on pack number 3. Now, on pack number 3, I'll be building stages 7 through stage 10. Now, it's a lot of fun building this car so far. It's very easy, and I would highly recommend it to you. So, if you haven't done so already, head over to Eaglemoss and subscribe to this car today. So, without further ado, let's get started. And welcome back. Here's pack 3 from Eaglemoss's The Eleanor, Gone in 60 Seconds. Now, this is the magazine that we received with that, and we'll look at that here shortly. But we received packs, stages 7, 8, 9, and 10. And we also received a free license plate. So we'll look at those here individually as we go along in this build. This video will comprise of all 4 stages, 7 through 10. So remember, this is pack number 3. Let's look at the magazine for pack 3. If you haven't done so already, head over to eaglemoss.com and subscribe to this car today. But they do give a step-by-step guide here. We have the table of contents here, and then they talk about the Eleanor Mustang. And right away we get into the build instructions for this is for stage 7, where we put together the wheel assembly. And moving on to step 8, we go ahead and install the tire onto the wheel assembly. And shows us here that we do have to put the tire in boiling water for a little bit, for about 2 minutes, and then we can easily put it on the wheel assembly. Then we go ahead and install or assemble the brake disc and caliper assembly. And that gets mounted to the tire. And last stage for pack 3 is to assemble some components onto the door. Let's look at the rest of the magazine. We have an article here, The Father of the Mustang. And after that, and that looks like Lee Iacocca. And Jerry Bruckheimer, Mr. Blockbuster. So they get into the filming of the Gone in 60 Seconds. And some scenes there. The universe of the Gone in 60 Seconds. And then we get into the highlight some of the cars. Hillary, which is a 1999 Lexus LS 400. And after that we have Pamela, and that's a 1953 Chevrolet Corvette. And Pamela again. And then they talk here about a 1964 Ford Mustang convertible. So the car that everybody wants, I'm sure. Then they give us a preview of pack 4. Let's look at the parts. But first, as one of the gifts that we received with this subscription is the license plate. And this is the old school California license plate, LIN 274, which is found in the movie Gone in 60 Seconds. Very cool. And of course it is a metal stamped plate. And for stage 7 we received the wheel assembly itself. Stage 8 we received the part of the rim again and the tire. And some screws there. And for stage 9 we received the brake caliper and disc. Also received a knockoff for the wheel. And the final stage for pack 3 is stage 10, and this is the door panel and some of the components for the door. So let's get started on stage 7. And here's a close-up of the parts we receive of stage 7, and this is the outer rim. It is made of plastic, very nice there, and the inner rim is made of metal, and this is the classic gone in 60-second rim. Very nice there. And the screws that we received are the PS05 screws. And before I begin, there's a few things I want to point out. The screwdriver I like to use is the Weir brand screwdriver, and this right here is what it looks like. This is a PH1. I also use the PH00 and the PH0. This is probably the largest one. It gives you more of a bite on those screws, and I highly recommend it. It is magnetized, so that helps you out also. The other thing is, in my videos, if you've been watching them or if you're new to my channel, please subscribe to my channel. But anyway, I do lubricate the metal holes for the metal screws, just to make the screws easier to go in and out. Now, in these builds, I'm not going to necessarily tell you that I lubricated those parts, but if I am putting a screw into metal, know that I did pre-lubricate that hole to help me out and prevent the screw from breaking. So for stage 7, we have to assemble this wheel assembly, and we'll simply just turn that over, and you can see on the other side there's some alignment tabs here. You can kind of see the recesses on this, and they just simply line up with the back side of the rim just like that. And we're going to put our PS05 screw into this. 3 of them go in, and going into plastic, so don't need to lubricate this. Very easily done. Perfect. And that's how that looks there. Note that they do give you an extra screw, so you want to go ahead and save these in case you need it later on. That's all we do for stage 7. Now let's go to stage 8. And here's a close-up of the parts for stage 8. We received the tire, the wheel rim itself, and DSO2 screws. Let's go to the tire first. This is an Eagle F1 tire, and you can see it's marked that way. Very nice. Even has the tire size on this. If you look close enough, you can see that there. Tread pattern, very nice there. And of course the Goodyear Eagle markings on both sides. And the rim itself is made of metal. Very nice there. The valve stem is built into it. That makes that nice. And of course our screws. Alright, so we need to take the tire, we need to put it in some boiling water for about 2 minutes, and then we'll bring it back and it should be nice and soft and pliable for us. But before we do that, I'll go ahead and assemble the wheel and tire. We'll get the wheel from the previous issue, and it's simply just going to go down right where everything lines up. And we'll put our screws in. These are going to be DS O2 screws, and we'll put 3 in. This has a lot of similarities to the GT500 Super Snake I am building for Agora. But this time this is Eagle Moss and the Eleanor, very infamous, famous car from Gone in 60 Seconds. And there you have it. That's how that looks. Now let me get the tire and we'll put it on here. So we want to make sure you put the tire on the rim with the tread going in a certain direction. You can see the tread pattern is actually going off onto the right direction. So we'll make sure we take note of that before we put the tire on. Okay, I am back. And here's our tire. And we definitely want it to go in this direction on the rim. So we'll put this on the rim. It goes on there really easy. There you go. And that's how we want it to run. Perfect. And that's all we do for stage 8. So stay tuned for stage 9. And here's a close-up of the parts for stage 9. This time we receive the right suspension knuckle, and that's made out of metal there. That's very nice. And the brake disc itself, the brake caliper, the disc, the backing plate, and the wheel knockoff, along with our screws, DSO4 screws. Now let's assemble the brake disc and caliper. And these parts are all marked with an R. And you can see there that has an R on it also. We want to make sure that this very thin area faces towards the left. And the two alignment tabs line up that are on this. And they have. Next we put on our disc assembly itself. Then we flip this over and we install our caliper, and that simply will snap in on the back edge. Just like that. And it's still able to rotate. Now we'll bring over our tire. And there's our tire. We install this on the tire. Be careful that you do not over tighten this. Okay, using a DSO4 screw for this, and this simply will key in there. There's a little keyway right there on the bottom, and there's a keyway on the disc. And looks like it's on there good. And I already pre-lubricated the hole. That feels tight. Perfect. And our knockoff will press fit onto this, just like that. And that completes stage 9. Now let's go to stage 10. And here's a close-up of the parts for stage 10. We received the outer door panel, the parts for the mirror, side mirror, the door handle, PSO4 and DSO6 screws. The door itself is made of metal. It's very nice, nicely painted in that charcoal gray with the racing stripes on the bottom. Here's the back side of it. And the mirror itself is made of plastic. They give us a little decal for the mirror itself. Very nice there. And here's our door handle, which is also made of plastic. We'll assemble the mirror now. We simply squeeze this part on here. It's a pressure fit. Just like that. And we'll put our mirror on itself. And that looks good there. Now we'll go ahead and bring the door over and mount this to the door. And our mirror goes down on this, through that slot there. And we'll put a DS06 screw into this. And that's how that looks there. Next we put our door handle on, and that simply slots into the side of the door. just like that. We put a PS04 screw into this. It's a very tiny screw. I'm using my Wera PHO screwdriver for this. Okay. PS04 goes into this. And that's good there. And that completes stage 10. And that completes stage 10, where we assembled components on the door and we assembled our first wheel-in tire. I'd like to thank everybody who subscribes to my channel. Please hit the bell for all video upload notifications and give me a thumbs up. Head over to eaglemoss.com and subscribe to this car today. It's a real blast to build and I'm having a lot of fun. Happy modeling, everybody, and take care.